Hey everyone, I'm Jason Gilbert, lead character designer at Intuition Robotics, and I am very honored to be speaking here at the Chatbot conference in the Metaverse. And since this conference is actually in the Metaverse, I thought, well, how about I give my talk about the opportunities for conversational AI and chatbots from within the Metaverse. So grab your portal gun or your VR Oculus Quest, and let's jump right into the Metaverse and take a look at some of the opportunities within the Metaverse to implement conversational AI, chatbots, voice bots, assistants, what have you. Okay, here we go. Okay, so here we are in the Metaverse. This is the lobby for the Oculus Quest. Pretty cool. So what actually is the Metaverse? It's kind of what you're looking at right now. It's this sort of VR type of world where you can interact with other people and other things and have a lot of fun. So there's a lot of opportunities here for conversational AI, chatbots, and just any type of voice assistance here within this world, this VR world of the Metaverse. So he's looking down right now, and this might be Mark Zuckerberg's home. It looks like it was modeled after Zuck's actual house, his hacienda, if you will. So you can see the moon, and so this is just the lobby area, and you can just see the sheer detail, and it's kind of amazing, and it's really cool. So here you could have maybe a guide like you had in Westworld, some kind of guide that would tell you about the Metaverse and sort of guide you through and say, okay, so what kind of experiences do we want to experience? Okay, so let's take a look at this VR Metaverse from a high level view, and I mean high level, I mean literally a high level. So one of the first use cases for conversational AI chatbots is going to be in healthcare. I'm absolutely positive about it. So let's take this use case as an example. In the Oculus Quest, there's a game called Richie's Plank Experience, which is really amazing, and I highly recommend it, especially if you have a fear of heights or if you have a fear of spiders, and we're going to talk about that in a second. So what you do is you kind of go into this elevator, and then we're going to see what's going to happen in a second. But this is a great example of virtual reality exposure therapy, VRET, which is actually happening right now. Therapists are doing these types of things in person with patients, but this is an opportunity. Oh God, this is terrifying. Look, you're basically standing, looking down at the city, and you have to walk this plank, and it's terrifying. Okay, so he's gonna just walk the plank. If you have a fear of heights, this, I guarantee you, this is absolutely terrifying. Don't walk off the plank. But look at the detail, and this is the opportunity for the chatbot here to walk the person through some of their fears and sort of help them overcome their fear of heights through virtual reality exposure therapy. I mean, he's being flooded, and he fell down. Oh my God, that's terrifying. Oh my God. Oh Jesus. Oh, and he made it to heaven. Obviously, he's been a good kid. So, but this is a way to really overcome your fear of heights. But now let's take another example here. Let's say you also, in addition to your fear of heights, you also have a crippling fear of spiders. I know I do. So that's, but I definitely think that in the near future that most of the therapy that we'll be getting is going to be happening within these types of experiences. If you have anxiety issues, you can, okay, what happened here? Stop, the video stopped. Let's keep on playing the video. There we go. And so what you can get here in the Metaverse is all these ways to handle your, let's say, for instance, you're agoraphobic, which means you're afraid of open spaces, you're afraid to leave the house. You could put this on and explore the world and sort of help to overcome your fear of the marketplace, because agora in Greek actually is the marketplace, and so agoraphobia translates as fear of the marketplace. So apparently, if you have agoraphobia, you might be afraid of marketplaces or just shopping malls, but any open space with a lot. Oh my God, look at that! That's terrifying. That's a huge spider. This game is obviously being played in Australia, and so the idea here is to try and grab the cake before the spiders get you, and so it's playing off the idea that your fear of heights, but also your fear of spiders, and maybe you have a fear of helicopters, by the way. And so another interesting fact is helicopter actually is a combination. It's not heli and copter as most people think. It's actually helico and pter like pterodactyl. It's like ter, and yeah, just helico and pter. So weird fact. Learned that on TikTok. Anyway, so this Richie's experience is a lot of fun. It's sufficiently scary, and I definitely can see maybe also if you have an eating disorder, this game can also help. So therapy, and I've been working with LEQ the robot, and one of the great things about LEQ is that she is able to take you from your spot in the living room to places all over the world. And I think with the VR, you're also free now to explore without being stuck. If you're stuck in your own home for reasons that are not, maybe health reasons you're stuck, and this will help you overcome that. So I think this is an amazing, amazing experience, and I definitely see therapy being done in VR in the metaverse. So I don't know why he's ringing the bell. I guess he expects an angel to get their wings. No, actually what happens here is if you ring the bell, and there I am. That's me. Yeah, me playing with the VR too, trying to figure out what to do with myself. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, I have to admit. I wouldn't let my son have all the fun, so I'm also playing with it and exploring it and doing stuff like boxing and just doing roller coasters and stuff like that. So the next thing I want to do is actually a job simulator, because I think this is an amazing opportunity. Another use case here, if you want to train employees, let's say you have a new employee coming in, and let's say you want to get them orientation and onboarding and all the stuff that takes forever when you onboard a new employee, you can actually prep them. And look at that adorable little robot. It loves its job. And what you can do is you can do job simulators here. So I took a gourmet chef, and so what I can do is I can pretend to be a gourmet chef, and then you pull the lever down, and then it's kind of crazy, this world. So the use case here obviously is hiring someone, orientation and onboarding, getting them ready for their new job. And so if instead of this sassy robot, which is hilarious, this funny robot, or in addition to this robot, maybe you could give them more of a personality and sort of brand them in your company's branding, and sort of say, okay, well, welcome to Subway, or whatever it is you're now going to start working. This is your station. This is what you'll see on day one. This is how you make a sandwich. And so you can actually go through, and in this case, I am a food critic, but you can go through and do a whole load of different types of jobs here. And the beauty of it is that it really gives you a sense that you're there, and it prepares you for the actual job. So if I'm looking at an AI here from the company that's helping, then it can really get the employee ready for their first day on the job without them ever coming into the office, doing everything here with this VR headset and training. And so the metaverse allows you really to do that in a way that feels very real, and you can explore. Maybe this is where they can tell. Okay, so if you go behind you in the cabinet, this is where you'll find. Then don't break all the wine on day one. You want to wait till day 2. Again, here I'm having some trouble, and then I realized that I can just start throwing things, and that's when and so I actually had the same problem at work too. A lot of my colleagues are in meetings with me, and they're like, "Hey man, would you please stop throwing the Tabasco at us?" And I'm like, no, this is part of who I am as an employee. I learned this, so but maybe you don't want to do this. If you're starting a new job, maybe you don't want to do all this stuff. This is really going to give the employer a really bad impression of who you are as a worker. But yeah, this is a lot of fun, and I would really be excited if I get a job as working in a restaurant or like a cafe or some kind of diner, and this was, or maybe the Krusty Krab. Maybe I can get a job flipping burgers, and SpongeBob could show me how to flip the burgers right, and maybe if not, maybe Squidward could show me how to run the cash register. And at the end of the day, maybe Mr. Krabs could also teach me the ins and outs of finance. You never know. So there's a lot of opportunities here. Adorable, and then back to the VR boxing. And so I think what we're going to do here is actually we're going to shift, because the Oculus Quest, VR, the Metaverse isn't just the Oculus Quest, obviously Metaverse, but there's also more. There's something called Roblox. And Roblox is something that my son and I, well, mostly him, but I enjoy it too. It's an amazing, amazing game. You can play mostly on the Xbox or on your computer, and you can pick your own character. This is my son's avatar here, and he's sort of customizing the avatar. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into our third use case. And our third use case in the Metaverse is actually education, because I feel like education is a huge, and it's also underlooked in the Metaverse, meaning I haven't really heard of except for one or two examples of people creating avatars as teachers to help students study a subject. So for instance, my son is 12 years old and we live in Tel Aviv, Israel. And one of the things that he has in class in school is a oral exam in English. An oral exam in English, the best way to prepare for an oral exam for English as a second language is to actually just have conversations. And what they do is my mother was an ESL teacher for years, so I kind of remember this from when I was growing up, is that, you would just practice, you just have conversations, and that's the way to improve your English. And so imagine if you're in this world of Roblox, right, and you have your avatar, your cool character with your sword and your samurai sword and everything, and I came in, a virtual avatar, we put a virtual teacher, an AI, a chatbot there to teach that student English. And so instead of it being a very boring situation where they're trapped in a very, very real classroom surrounded by 20 very real students, maybe heckling and laughing and interrupting, this is a chance in the Metaverse to really explore and to learn a new language, learn English as a second language here in the Metaverse. So can you imagine coming up with all these teachers that all they need to do, I mean, it's at a very basic level, what you can do is you can just connect one of the GPT, the large language models, create a teacher that just talks. See, he's smiling, like, oh, happy he is. My son's never this happy to be in school. And he is super, super, super happy to be in school in the Metaverse in Roblox. So again, Roblox is a great opportunity for education in the, education in the Metaverse. And so now what he's going to do is he's done, obviously, he's got his education, and what he's going to do now is he's actually going to start a company. And there's another role-playing thing on Roblox where you can start your own company, and he's going to be a developer, I suppose. I don't know. I mean, the kid's smart. He speaks English very well. Obviously, we just saw that, and he's really into computers. So he's called the team the Gilberts, and we're going to go in. It's an IT company, and let's see what's on the docket for today in this IT company. All right, so today it's the join the Lennox team, pay the taxes. You got employee number 1 over there. He's another person we can interact with. Repair the computer, deal with marketing. I think you just have to turn it on and off again. And yeah, so that's the idea here. And then you play Developer Inc. And then in this game, you learn how to become a developer, which would be very useful for these kids. And so you can actually answer calls. You can, I guess marketing has some issues. Marketing wants you to do some stuff that is impossible to do. Probably sales too. And so in the Metaverse, you can not only learn, but you can imagine I can have a chatbot who prepares them, like if this is your new employee and you're preparing them in the Metaverse to answer calls, maybe to how the company works, maybe even how to program, stuff like that. So a lot of this stuff you can already I know it kind of talks a little bit about the previous use case, which is the working. This is, again, the same type of use case, but slightly different. Okay, now we're back in Richie's plank experience. If you guys remember the bell, that was fun. And this is another really cool experience. We're going back into VR, and we are going, since it's almost the holiday season, we are going to pretend that we are with Santa and the reindeer, because, that's kind of cool. And imagine if instead of going to a mall, I don't know if this still happens, this is from the 80s. I used to do this in the 80s. We used to go to the mall in Deptford, New Jersey or whatever, and you would go, and then around the holiday season you would go and you would sit on Santa's lap. But I think that this virtual experience where you can actually go to the North Pole and ride with Santa around the world, maybe you could ask Santa a few questions. So you would come up with a chatbot, Santa chatbot, which I know every year I see dozens, hundreds of thousands of Santa chatbots, voice bots, and stuff like that, and applications and skills. So what if in VR you could go and you could hang out with Santa while he's delivering and look at the moon. You can hang with Prancer and all the reindeer and Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, and all of those reindeer. It's a lot of fun. So there's opportunities here for fun within the metaverse as well, and for, you know, yeah, I don't know, maybe you have a sled company. I don't know, that's a weird use case.
Thank you.
Anyway, this is fun. We can just sit back and enjoy this one. What's he doing? All right. Cool. Okay. So, no, I think the only thing that another use case, which I think is another fun use case, which is just an AI friend, and I see a lot of this currently with on mobile phones. But imagine if you could have an AI friend in the metaverse that would accompany you. So, for instance, this would be my AI friend in the metaverse, and he's going to go on a roller coaster. This crazy knight is going to go on a roller coaster with me, and maybe we could talk. Maybe it's a chatbot that we could talk about stuff, and he could help me through stuff. Again, maybe it could be a therapy chatbot. Maybe he could help me walk me through some of the things that I'm experiencing while we're on a roller coaster. But the idea here is that, you know, I'm just trying to get his attention, and he's not. Yeah, maybe he's not my friend after all. But the idea here is simple. It's that all of a sudden we have all these opportunities within this amazing, rich landscape to create conversational AI experiences to help people in their actual day-to-day lives. So in that sense, the metaverse is not just this really cool, flashy, well, some of it's not really that flashy, but it's not just this buzzword. What it is actually, it's full of potential for improving our lives outside of the metaverse by employing certain chatbots in certain areas within the metaverse. So that's been my talk. I hope you enjoyed being inside of the metaverse, and I will see you in the metaverse. This has been Jason Gilbert, and I just want you to know today I didn't do any funny mustaches. I didn't put on any hats. So this is just who I am. This is just me, without any gimmicks and stuff like that. Just me. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.